Section: Introduction. In this section, we discuss the recent advancements in large language models, LLMs, and the emergence of prompt-based chain of thought, COT, reasoning as a powerful tool for enhancing reasoning capabilities. By prompting LLMs to think step by step, we can achieve better cognitive and logical reasoning, leading to more accurate answers. However, while COT reasoning typically requires very large models with over 100 billion parameters, we are exploring knowledge distillation techniques to create smaller models that can effectively mimic the reasoning of these larger models. One challenge we face with COT knowledge distillation is that smaller models tend to memorize specific reasoning paths instead of generalizing from the larger models. This is evident as these smaller models perform well on familiar tasks but struggle with new, unseen domains. To tackle this issue, we propose a COT distillation framework called Prompt-Assisted Domain Adversarial Fine-Tuning, PRADA. Our approach involves three key steps. First, we prompt a large teacher model to generate diverse COT reasoning responses. Second, we integrate prompt learning layers into the smaller model to help it acquire knowledge that is not specific to any one domain. And third, we apply domain adversarial fine-tuning to both the source and target domains, allowing the model to learn features that remain consistent across different domains. We conducted extensive evaluations using 12 datasets from various domains, and our results show that PRADA significantly outperforms previous COT knowledge distillation methods in cross-domain scenarios. We find that PRADA enhances the ability of smaller models to generalize across domains while preserving the reasoning capabilities of the larger teacher model. Our contributions include improving the domain discrimination ability of LLMs through adversarial fine-tuning and enhancing the adaptability of COT prompt tuning via adversarial learning. In the context of knowledge distillation and COT reasoning, we note that the MT-COT framework uses COT explanations from LLMs to train smaller reasoning models. The specialized model extracts reasoning paths from larger models to improve generalization to new data distributions. Additionally, the fine-tune COT method generates multiple reasoning solutions through random sampling to address the lack of diversity in training data. The Socratic COT approach divides training into two models, easing the cognitive load on students for better learning. Our research also aligns with adversarial training, AT, which enhances model robustness. The Domain Adversarial Neural Network, DAN, aims to improve generalization, particularly in natural language processing, NLP, by applying adversarial perturbations to word embeddings. This technique has shown to enhance generalization across various tasks. Finally, we highlight advancements in prompt learning, which have improved natural language understanding, NLU, tasks. Techniques like prefix tuning, warp, and p-tuning modify input sequences and model outputs to achieve robust performance with fewer parameters. Domain adaptation via prompt learning, DAPL, optimizes a minimal number of parameters to embed domain-specific information, while prompt-assisted self-adaptive learning, PASL, uses prompts to help models adapt to domain shifts effectively. Section Summary. In this section, we discuss the advancements in large language models, LLMs, and the emergence of prompt-based chain of thought, COT, reasoning, which enhances reasoning capabilities but faces challenges in generalization when distilled into smaller models. We propose a novel COT distillation framework, Prompt-Assisted Domain Adversarial Fine-Tuning, PRADA, to improve cross-domain generalization by leveraging adversarial training and domain-agnostic knowledge acquisition. Section: Problem Definition. In this section, we define our problem. We have a set of source questions, which we call D_S, and a set of target questions, referred to as D_T. The sizes of these datasets are represented by N_S and N_T, respectively. We utilize a pre-trained language model, G_F, which has a specific hidden state size and vocabulary size. The input embeddings come from this pre-trained model. We outline the general PRADA architecture in 3 steps, illustrated in Figure 3. First, we use a large teacher model to generate various reasoning responses for a task. To make this process flexible and cost-effective, we apply a zero-shot COT prompting method. For a sample consisting of a question and its correct answer, we prompt the teacher model to create a reasoning rationale and a final answer. The output includes the question, a step-by-step reasoning, and the answer. To improve reasoning diversity, we employ a stochastic sampling strategy, generating multiple distinct outputs for each sample. We then filter these outputs by comparing the teacher model's predictions with the correct answers. If the predictions match, we reformat the samples into question completion pairs. Next, we focus on prompt learning with our student model. We start with the source domain, which contains COT reasoning samples. We implement a p-tuning adapter that uses continuous prompt embeddings to enhance performance. The prompt template is designed to map the template to a sequence that includes the question and completion. During prompt learning, we update the embeddings to optimize a task loss function. We then integrate the adapter into the student model. During fine-tuning or inference, the prompts from different p-tuning layers are added as prefix tokens, allowing the model to utilize more adaptable parameters from the source domain data. Finally, we discuss domain adversarial fine-tuning. We represent the student model and the domain classifier within the PRADA architecture. We transform the input data from both the source and target domains into a format that includes unique symbols for each domain. We define prediction loss and domain loss, and our training process involves optimizing these losses. We find a saddle point through specific gradient updates, using stochastic estimates from the dataset. A key aspect of our approach is the introduction of a gradient reversal layer, which helps ensure that features remain distinct across domains. We also define an objective function that we optimize using stochastic gradient descent. To maintain the effectiveness of the p-tuning layers, we apply different learning rates during the training of the adapter and the overall model. This strategy ensures that the learning from the prompt process is preserved while we conduct domain adversarial fine-tuning. Section Summary. In this section, we define our approach to transfer learning by utilizing a pre-trained language model to generate diverse reasoning outputs from a source domain, which we then refine into prompt completion pairs for a student model. We implement a p-tuning adapter for effective prompt learning and apply domain adversarial fine-tuning to optimize the model's performance across different domains while maintaining the integrity of the learned prompts. Section: Tasks and Datasets. In this section, we evaluated the effectiveness of our approach using 12 datasets across 4 categories of complex reasoning. These categories include 1. Arithmetic reasoning. This includes datasets like single EQ, add sub, multi-arith, GSM-8K, and SVAMP, which assess various mathematical problem-solving skills. 2. Symbolic reasoning. We used last-letter concatenation and coin flip to evaluate reasoning involving symbolic manipulation and pattern recognition. 3. Common sense reasoning. Datasets like Common Sense QA and Strategy QA test our ability to apply everyday knowledge and reasoning strategies. 4. Other reasoning. This includes date understanding and tracking shuffled objects, focusing on logical reasoning and the ability to track sequences or temporal data. For each dataset, we followed a specific methodology using the teacher model's different chain of thought, COT, reasoning to fine-tune the student model. For our teacher models, we utilized the GPT-3 175 billion parameter model via the OpenAI API, specifically the Text DaVinci 002 version. Our experiments with student models were divided into 2 types: encoder-decoder architecture and decoder-only architecture. For the decoder-only architecture, we selected the updated Llama 3 model for fine-tuning. Initially, we considered using GPT-3 and various versions of GPT-2, but we decided against them due to GPT-3's black box nature and GPT-2's limited mathematical capabilities. For the encoder-decoder architecture, we used Flan T5 Large, an instruction-tuned version of T5, to assess the impact of our PRADA approach. Our student models are significantly smaller than the teacher model, making them more suitable for real-world applications. We compared our PRADA method with 3 COT knowledge distillation techniques. 1. Specialized LLM. This method extracts specific reasoning paths from a large teacher model to improve generalization. 2. Fine-tune COT. This involves sampling various reasoning solutions from large language models to enhance the student model's learning. 3. MT-COT. Multitask chain of thought. This approach uses explanations from large language models to improve the training of smaller reasoning models. We conducted extensive experiments on the 12 datasets, comparing our PRADA models with several baseline models, including pre-trained versions of DaVinci 002, FLANT 5 Large, and Llama 3 to 8B, as well as fine-tuned models. We measured performance using accuracy and the improvement in accuracy. Our PRADA-enhanced models consistently achieve the highest accuracy across all datasets. For example, in the SVAMP dataset, Llama 3 to 8B with PRADA outperformed its pre-trained version by over 10% in accuracy. We also explored the impact of removing the domain classifier from our model to see how it affected generalization. A drop in performance would indicate the classifier's importance in distinguishing domain-specific features. The results of this experiment are shown in our figures and tables. Additionally, we assessed the role of p-tuning layers by removing them from the model. We aimed to determine their significance in overall performance by comparing results with and without these layers. The findings from this analysis are also presented in our figures and tables. Section Summary. In this section, we evaluated our approach using 12 datasets across 4 reasoning categories: arithmetic, symbolic, common sense, and other reasoning, employing teacher models like GPT-3 and student models such as Llama 3 and FLANT 5 Large for fine-tuning. Our experiments demonstrated that our prompt-assisted domain adversarial fine-tuning, PRADA, consistently outperformed baseline models, achieving the highest accuracy across all datasets, particularly in arithmetic reasoning tasks. Section: Visualization of embedding with and without PRADA. In this section, we visualize the embeddings generated by the LLM with and without the PRADA method for 4 arithmetic reasoning tasks, as shown in Figure 5. On the left, we see the embeddings from the standard Llama 3 model fine-tuned on the GSM-8K dataset. On the right, we observe the embeddings from Llama 3 using PRADA, also trained on GSM-8K. These visualizations highlight how prompt learning helps align features related to the domain, with PRADA showing a more generalized clustering of embeddings across various tasks. Next, we discuss the difficulty of transfer learning. We notice a ranking of transfer difficulty based on dataset characteristics, which affects PRADA's performance. The Aqua dataset presents complex arithmetic challenges, like solving equations and combinatorics. In contrast, datasets such as GSM-8K, Multi-Arith, SVAMP, and add sub-focus on simpler arithmetic operations like addition and subtraction. Our analysis of Table 1 reveals that both GSM-8K and Aqua are too challenging for smaller student models, as the teacher model achieves below 65% accuracy on these datasets. We rank the transfer difficulty from left to right as follows: Aqua, GSM-8K, Multi-Arith, SVAMP, Single EQ, and Add Sub. We believe it is important to explore this generalization difficulty across other datasets as well. In our generalization ability analysis, we demonstrate the improvement in generalization for the FLANT 5 Large and Llama 3 to 8B models when using PRADA compared to their standard versions. Figure 6 illustrates the accuracy differences as training progresses for each dataset: Add Sub, Multi-Arith, Single EQ, SVAMP. The upper limit of the shaded area indicates the accuracy with PRADA, while the lower limit shows the accuracy without it. This visualization reveals that PRADA effectively enhances model generalization by capturing domain-agnostic features across multiple domains. Finally, we compare the convergence behavior of the Llama 3 to 8B model with and without PRADA during training on the GSM-8K dataset, as shown in Figure 7. The model trained with PRADA, represented by the blue curve, converges faster and exhibits lower overall loss compared to the standard model, represented by the orange curve. This indicates that PRADA facilitates more efficient learning of domain-agnostic features, leading to better model performance.